Math is clean, math's easy when you're doing math with Miss Lee.
Welcome to my lesson on using the first quadrant of the unit circle to find the values of sine, cosine, and tangent for a given angle. In my first example, I'll find the values of sine, cosine, and tangent for the angle -7 pi over 6. Start by graphing the angle in standard position. To graph -7 pi over 6, I'll first convert 7 over 6 into a mixed number. 6 goes into 7 once, with 1 left over, so this is the same as -1 and 1/6 pi. Pi is a half circle, and negative angles rotate down and around. So here's one half circle rotating downwards from the positive x-axis, and then 1/6 of the way through the top half circle. This shows me that -7 pi over 6 is in quadrant 2, where x is negative and y is positive. The reference angle is the smallest number of degrees or radians between the angle and the x-axis. Here, the angle is pi over 6 radians above the x-axis, so the reference angle is pi over 6. Using a diagram of the first quadrant of the unit circle, I can see that a reference angle of pi over 6 has coordinates √3/2, 1/2. -7 pi over 6 will match to the same point, except that its x-coordinate will be negative because it's in the second quadrant. So the angle -7 pi over 6 will hit the unit circle at the point -√3/2, 1/2. Sine is the second coordinate, so that makes sine 1/2. Since sine is the second coordinate, then cosine is the first, or -√3/2. Tangent is the y-coordinate divided by the x-coordinate. When we divide 1/2 by -√3/2, the 2's cancel out, resulting in 1 over -√3. In my second example, I'll find the values of sine, cosine, and tangent for the angle -5 pi over 2. Start by graphing the angle in standard position again, and to graph -5 pi over 2, I'll convert 5 halves into a mixed number. 2 goes into 5 twice with 1 left over, so this is the same as -2.5 pi. Again, pi is a half circle and negative angles rotate down and around, so here's one half circle, rotating downwards from the positive x-axis, continuing through the next half circle, and then half of the way through the next half circle. This shows me that -5 pi over 2 is on the y-axis, and looking at where it is, the x is 0 and the y is going to be negative. The reference angle again is the smallest number of degrees or radians between the angle and the x-axis. Here the angle is pi over 2 radians away from the x-axis, so the reference angle is pi over 2. Using a diagram of the first quadrant of the unit circle, a reference angle of pi over 2 has coordinates 0, 1. -5 pi over 2 matches to the same point, except that its y-coordinate will be negative because it's at the bottom of the y-axis. So the angle -5 pi over 2 will hit the unit circle at the point 0, -1. Sine is the second coordinate, so that makes sine -1. And cosine is the first coordinate, so cosine will be 0 here. Tangent is the y divided by the x, and when we divide -1 by 0, the result will be undefined. So here, the tangent of -5 pi over 2 is undefined.